Thanks very much, comrades. It's always a pleasure to come and speak among friends, and I hope that throughout the debate that we have today, we remember that we are friends, regardless of any disagreements we may have about tactics. That's what we're discussing today. We're not discussing principles, we're discussing tactics. And when we discuss tactics, sometimes we'll have disagreements. I think we all know where we want to go. We want a better world, we want a fairer world, we want redistribution of wealth, we want dignity for every human citizen. We sometimes have disagreements about how we're going to get there. So let's bear that in mind, because there is more than enough division in society, and I would say there's probably more than enough division within the left as well. So in the course of the remarks that I hope to make today, I hope we will bear in mind that we're all friends, we're all comrades, and regardless of disagreements today, we'll remain friends and we'll remain comrades in the battles that lie ahead. I do have to say, in 30 odd years of being involved in the left and trying to build a mass workers' party, we've all been involved in that for 30 years, and we're going to keep involved in that because it's in our hearts, and it's our belief system, it's our religion. Socialism, I would argue, is our religion. Throughout that period, I'm probably going to say without fear of contradiction that this last 12 months has been the most exciting period, because we came within a whisker, breaking the British establishment. Breaking the British establishment. Effectively, here in Scotland, we would have taken the Union Jack off the flagpoles, and we would have hoisted a different flag. And I'm not just a flag waving, I don't think any of us are. We weren't for independence because we were nationalists. But we know that the different flag would have represented the hopes and the aspirations of millions of Scots. Like Amal said, there's a whole number of reasons why people voted independence. But they were almost exclusively positive reasons for voting independence. People wanted to vote independence because they wanted to close down Gable. People wanted to vote independence because they wanted to get rid of nuclear weapons. People wanted to vote independence because they want to get rid of zero-hour contracts. People wanted to vote independence because they want a living wage instead of a poverty minimum wage. Overwhelmingly, those that were supporting independence were supporting independence from a positive point of view. Yes, there were a few stragglers that managed to stumble into the Yes campaign with Mr. Souter, Mr. McCall. I once said Mr. Neil on the TV, have a bit of a go at me, you know. Oh, Tommy, as a socialist, you must be uncomfortable having the likes of Brian Souter and Jim McCall supporting independence. And it was almost as if, you know, independence, you know, the forces of reaction behind that. I just had to remind them, wait a wee minute, mate. Those that are supporting the no vote, they do happen to have UKIP, BNP, the Orange Order, and everybody else in the actually supporting the no vote. I had the opportunity to discuss with George. George and I go back a long way, and I'll remain friends with George. Friendship goes deep. But I vehemently disagree with him on this question, and George made a speech, a very good speech, as he always does, an anti-war speech in Parliament, where he was opposed to the bombing of Iraq. He warned about how it would spread out to Syria. But he made a point in that speech. He said, you know, those in this chamber should hold their heads in shame because they are going back to visit the scene of the crime that they committed in relation to the original invasion of Iraq. The only problem, George, is that people who you were condemning in Parliament 2 weeks ago, you were standing beside 3 weeks ago. at the time during that debate, and I appeal to him now, not to be on the side of the forces of reaction as far as independence for Scotland is concerned. You know, I don't know if it's true, but I did get a wee bit of a boost from a comment that Andrew Neil made to me off camera. To say I don't know if it's true, but he said, Tommy, you may have played a role in preventing Rupert Murdoch coming out for the yes vote. He'd apparently heard that the campaign for yes had taken a radical turn. I hope he's right. I hope. Brothers and sisters, I think that movement was something that each and every one of us involved in socialist politics can take pride in our involvement and can take pride in our role in. Keir talked about his favourite moment was the victorious moment where apparently we had to turn away more than actually was inside victorious. Such was the popularity. Fantastic. And the point is, brothers and sisters, that for the first time in a long, long time, we had a genuine grassroots campaign. This was a bottom-up campaign, not a top-down campaign. I'll tell you how we know that. Because the top of the tree, you remember, yes, Scotland, they were supposed to be running the show, and they told people like me that I wasn't to be involved, and that people wanted to share a platform with people like me. That didn't work very well, did it? This was a genuine grassroots movement, brothers and sisters, and I believe that movement is still in existence. I believe tomorrow's event, and I really do hope that Mal will join the list of speakers. I'm probably my least prepared for any meeting I've ever been prepared in my life coming here today, because there's just been so much today for the morrow. This started off from a demand on social media, thousands and thousands of Facebook and Twitter messages. Gonna do something. Tommy, you can't just leave us, gonna do something. So we said, oh, for God's sake, let's call a meeting in the square. I like Freedom Square, by the way. We can debate whether we call it Independence Square, but I like Freedom Square. After an independence vote, I hope we can campaign for Freedom Square, and I hope we can replace the statues. From the warmongers who are down at the do, to the Nan Barbers of the world and the John McLeans of the world. So we said, all right, let's call a meeting. And then that meeting became a rally. And then that rally became a festival. And now we've got 15 bands playing and 30 speakers, and it's going on for 5 hours. So I can tell you, it's taken a lot of organisation, and if I thought I was bald before it, I'm certainly not bald now. Brothers and sisters, I have been involved in the movement for 30 years, and I believe vehemently that we need a leadership, a socialist leadership for the working class, a socialist leadership that will give a voice and give organisational direction to our class as a whole and to the left forces in society. I listened to Keir say that Kevin McNamara today said he's never known a better time for building of the left forces. I don't know whether he said left forces or left party. What I've got to say is I think Kevin's a great journalist. But I haven't noticed him in the last 30 years being involved in building left forces or a left party. And one thing I doubt, we can have a disagreement and a debate on it, is that it'll be built in the next 7 months. I don't think we are going to have a united left party built in the next 7 months. I think we, as socialists, have a duty to stare reality in the face instead of trying to apply a different reality to the one that exists. We don't have a single trade union that is going to form a new workers' party. We even have a defeat within the most left-wing of unions. The RMT, let's face the reality, have just voted for a candidate because the left was divided. And they've ended up voting with a right-wing candidate in relation to the EU leader, General Secretary of the RMT. Whether they will continue their support for other organisations remains to be seen. But what they're not going to do is they're not going to provide the funding or the organisational support for a new left party here in Scotland. No trade union is going to do that. That's a reality. What we're left with? We're left with the existing left forces. Will it be SWP? Will it be SPS? Will it be SSP? Will it be Solidarity? Will it be RIC? It becomes alphabet soup, doesn't it? The reality is there's loads of left forces out there. But there isn't a unifying left party, in my opinion, that's going to unite the Yes movement. Not yet. I'm not saying it's not going to happen. We may agree that our debate today is about timing. Because in principle, I'm for a left party that unites the working class and unites the Yes movement. I'm in principle for that. But are you suggesting to me that it's going to be formed within 7 months and able to stand candidates in 59 constituencies in Scotland? I don't think so. I don't think so. Because that new Yes movement is going to have debates about who the candidates are, who they should be, who decides, who votes. I, from experience, can tell you that's messy. It's always messy because people fall with each other and people have their own ideas of who should be the candidate. And that's why, on a personal opinion, and this isn't from Solidarity, we've got a conference on the 25th of October, and I hope everyone here will come along to Glasgow Caledonian University and be involved with Solidarity. Join Solidarity. I'm not speaking on behalf of Solidarity when I say what I'm about to say. I'm speaking in a personal capacity. In my opinion, with open eyes, not blindly. And come on, we don't need to recite what's wrong with SNP as a political party. We're among socialists here. We know they're yes a left of centre party. Anybody that argues different, I think they're just wrong. They are a left of centre party. But they're also fundamentally a capitalist party, a party that believes in the free market, a party that believes in cutting corporation tax, a party that believes in membership of NATO, a party that isn't going to nationalise, a party that isn't going to radically redistribute wealth. We know all of that alone. There are, I think, legitimate arguments to be had on the left. Let's not just think we're right and everybody else is right. Legitimate arguments. One argument the left could have is that we as a left should join the SNP. Should join the SNP. Along with the 50,000 other working class folk predominantly who've already done that. We could take over. You could organise within to take over. Personally, I think it's a good idea. I think it will lead to more battles, more fights, and all sorts of expulsions. It will be very, very messy. But it's a legitimate point of view. People talk about build a mass party. 60,000 people have just joined the party. You think that's a mass party? Come on, wake up here. We would give a rare teeth, wouldn't we? For a party of 60,000 strong. Theirs is now, I think, approaching 100,000. Legitimate argument, don't agree with it. There's the argument, let's build a new mass party of the working class, a new mass party of the left. Legitimate argument. And it's going to have to be done, but it's not going to be done in 7 months. That's why my opinion is we build the left. We continue to build the left. Personally, as the co-convener of Solidarity, we have let ourselves down as a party because throughout the whole of the last year's campaign, we lowered the banner of Solidarity, so much so that when Keir talks about people joining the SSP, thinking it's Tommy's party, I will show you, because Gail and I sat over a 2-day period and I had 271 Facebook messages from people saying, Tommy, brilliant during the referendum, you've done a great job, I've now joined your party, I've joined the SSP. 271 in 2 days, there's loads more, I'm just giving you that example. Why? Because I thought it was more important during the referendum campaign to promote the unity of Yes than to promote one individual party. That's why we lowered the banner. We are going to cry now, raise our banner. Because we think we are a legitimate party of the left and solidarity deserves to be recognised. I know, yes, Scotland and all the rest of them are trying to de-recognise us. Join the parties of the left. Who are the SSP? Never mind solidarity. Well, that's wrong and it's politically sectarian. That's the fact. So I'm all in favour, brothers and sisters, of building the parties of the left. But in relation to the next 7 months, my argument is that we openly campaign for a vote for SNP at the general election with their eyes open. We ask them to commit to fight austerity. We ask them to commit to a new referendum by 2020. We could go on, but then we'll just cause division about what we should and what we shouldn't do. If they commit two things, then I ask you this. Would we be celebrating next May a majority of MPs being sent to Parliament who are committed to independence, and we can continue the campaign to break the British establishment? Or can we be renewing our sorrows next May and saying, oh, we did no bad, the left candidate got a couple of thousand, no, we did no bad, but Labour got re-elected anyway. They only get re-elected by 1,000 votes. By the way, if we'd all voted for one candidate, we could have maybe get rid of him. That's the reality here I'm asking you to think about, comrades. Tactics, no principle here. I've voted SNP before. You lived in Glasgow South, and you had the choice of Ian bloody Davidson or Chris Stevens of the Trade Union Group. I will justify my vote for Chris Stevens of the SNP. So it's not a principle of whether you vote SNP or not. It's a tactic. And I think in terms trying to maintain the unity of the Yes movement. If there's going to be a big Yes Alliance bill that unites the movement, brilliant, let's go for that. I've got my doubts whether it's going to be done in a 7-month period. If it is done, fine. If it's not, what are we asking the Yes movement to do to try and damage not just the blue Tories and the yellow Tories, but the red Tories? How are we going to damage the red Tories? I think we damage them by uniting, lending a vote to the SNP to get rid of those red Tories and to send a message to Westminster that their time is over, the British establishment is finished. Thanks very much.